You're not going to believe this. In the darkness of a closed-door meeting room in Ottawa, a decision was just made that sent shockwaves through Washington. Canada, America's closest ally inside NORAD, just said no to the F-35. Instead, they chose Sweden's Gripen E. And it wasn't because it's cheaper. It wasn't because of budget pressure. It was for something far more fundamental: technological sovereignty. This isn't just an aircraft purchase. This is a declaration of independence. A G7 nation just rejected the most powerful defense industry on Earth. They chose a path no one was expected to take. And right now, from the Pentagon to NATO headquarters, officials are scrambling to understand why. Before we dive in, hit that like button so the algorithm knows this matters. Because today's story isn't really about fighter jets, it's about self-determination in an age of technological dependence. To understand this decision, we first need to understand the philosophy behind two completely different approaches to air power. The F-35 Lightning II represents the future Washington has been selling. A fully networked global combat system where every aircraft is constantly connected, sharing data in real time. On paper, it sounds perfect, but here's the catch. The entire software ecosystem, from mission updates to engine diagnostics, runs through Lockheed Martin servers in the United States. No source code access, no independent repairs. Every time a Canadian pilot takes off, that aircraft is tied to systems beyond Canada's borders. The Gripen tells a completely different story. Saab designed it around what they call sovereign sustainment. Canada isn't just buying jets. They're buying intellectual property rights, software modification rights, the ability to assemble, maintain, and upgrade the aircraft entirely on Canadian soil. When a Gripen lands at Cold Lake Air Base, RCAF technicians can open the panels, swap components, and update software without calling Stockholm. They don't wait for American engineers to fly in. They don't explain missions to third parties. This is the difference between renting technology and owning it, between being an ally and being dependent. And Ottawa just chose ownership. But this story goes beyond philosophy. It collides directly with the brutal reality of the Arctic. The Arctic does not forgive weakness. Temperatures plunge to minus 40 degrees Celsius. Winds exceed 100 kilometers per hour. Runways disappear under snow and ice. And this is where the Gripen shows why it was built the way it was. The F-35 requires a 2,400-meter runway, pristine surfaces, and specialized heating infrastructure. The Gripen E needs just 800 meters. It can take off from frozen highways and land on improvised strips near remote borders. Its Rolls-Royce EJ200 engine was designed for northern European climates, where winter lasts longer than summer. While aging CF-18s must return to base after roughly 4 hours of flight, the Gripen maintains an 80% sortie rate, even in blizzard conditions. Russia understands this reality. They're investing billions into Arctic military infrastructure, new air bases in the Franz Josef Land archipelago, expanded radar networks along the polar route, nuclear-powered icebreakers. Climate change is opening new shipping lanes. Oil and gas beneath the Arctic seabed are becoming economically viable. In Canada, flying worn-out CF-18s has been steadily losing its ability to monitor the largest national territory on Earth. The Gripen changes that equation. Its next-generation electronic warfare systems can blind enemy radar. Its modular design allows a 6-person crew to swap an engine in just 60 minutes at a forward base. In a conflict scenario, when major airfields are targeted, Gripens can disperse to more than a dozen locations and keep fighting. Washington doesn't like this, but they can't deny the logic. The reaction from the United States hasn't been loudly advertised, but diplomatic sources say it's tense. The U.S. ambassador requested an urgent meeting. The Pentagon dispatched a technical assessment team. The message was unmistakable. Interoperability could be affected. NORAD protocols might need revisions. And most importantly, this could set a dangerous precedent. If Canada walks away from the F-35, what happens next? Poland is already reconsidering. Spain is hesitating. Even Germany is questioning long-term operating costs. But NATO, it turns out, is more pragmatic than Washington assumes. European defense analysts quickly pointed out that the Gripen is fully compatible with alliance standards, Link 16 data systems, the same as the F-35. AMRAAM and Meteor missiles integrate seamlessly. Any adjustments in joint exercises are technical issues, not political ones. Some NATO members even see this as an advantage. The alliance's northern flank, from Norway to Canada, faces increasing pressure from Russia. The Gripen's ability to operate in dispersed environments, combined with lower costs, allows for denser deployment. Instead of 65 F-35s, Canada can field 88 Gripens on the same budget. More aircraft means broader coverage and stronger deterrence. But what truly unsettles Washington isn't military. It's economic. Saab isn't just selling jets, they're offering a new industrial model. The technology transfer agreement includes 3 binding commitments: final assembly at a Montreal facility, 40% of major components produced in Canada, and the training of 3,000 aerospace engineers over the next decade. Bombardier, once worried it would be sidelined under an F-35 deal, becomes a strategic partner overnight. Universities like Waterloo and McGill are brought into advanced avionics research. Defense dollars stop flowing to Fort Worth, Texas, and stay inside Canadian communities. And the numbers are impossible to ignore. Gripen costs per flight hour, roughly $8,000. F-35, anywhere from $35,000 to $47,000. Over 30 years, Ottawa saves nearly $12 billion. That money doesn't vanish. It gets reinvested into Arctic surveillance, unmanned systems, border radar upgrades, and, most critically, national cybersecurity capabilities. Then there's maintenance autonomy, the part few people talk about. When an F-35 encounters a software fault, aircraft sit idle while Lockheed Martin engineers fly in with encrypted laptops. When a Gripen has an issue, RCAF crews run diagnostics and fix it the same day. Canada controls the maintenance schedule. They're not waiting behind 15 other F-35 operators. This is what technological sovereignty actually means. Not just owning hardware, but controlling the knowledge behind it. For the Royal Canadian Air Force, the Gripen isn't just a platform. It's a new operating philosophy. The cockpit follows a pilot-centric design: large touchscreens, intuitive layouts, intelligent warning systems. A new pilot can qualify on the Gripen in 6 months, compared to 18 for the F-35. That means more pilots trained, more flexible rotations, and far less reliance on U.S. training pipelines. Gripen sensor fusion technology, combining radar, infrared, and electronic inputs into a single tactical picture, is rated by experts as comparable to the F-35. The difference is access. Canada receives source code rights. Algorithms can be tailored for Arctic terrain. Domestic early warning systems can be integrated without asking permission. Politically, Ottawa's message is unmistakable. We evaluate technology based on operational reality, not alliance pressure. This decision redefines Canada's global image, from a country that automatically follows Washington's lead to one that thinks strategically for itself. The ripple effects have already begun. Poland is inviting Saab delegations to Warsaw. Spain is requesting detailed cost analyses. Even Australia, one of the F-35's strongest supporters, is quietly reassessing long-term technological dependence. The Gripen is no longer just a Swedish fighter. It has become a symbol of autonomy. 5 decades ago, Canada canceled the Avro Arrow, the most advanced domestically developed fighter of its era, under pressure from Washington. That choice wiped out an entire generation of aerospace engineers and ended Canada's chance to become a defense technology powerhouse. This time, history doesn't repeat itself. Choosing the Gripen is an admission that independence has a cost, and Ottawa is willing to pay it. This isn't a betrayal of an ally. It's a nation maturing, recognizing that real security doesn't come from buying the most advanced weapon. It comes from controlling that weapon. Canada now controls its air power destiny. They can defend the Arctic without asking permission, upgrade systems when needed, build domestic expertise instead of relying on foreign contractors. Defense spending stays home, creating jobs and long-term capability. For NATO, this is a lesson in adaptability. For Washington, a reminder that allies aren't captive markets. And for mid-sized nations everywhere, the message is clear. You don't have to choose between security and sovereignty. With the right strategy, you can have both. The Gripen just proved it. If you found this analysis valuable, hit like and subscribe. We'll keep breaking down the stories most people miss. Thanks for watching.